Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Do you ever have those mornings when you look in the mirror and you go, whoa, we need some makeup on? That's how I am feeling today. I am actually going to be filming a hair tutorial after I do this makeup, so even my hair, because it's just been air drying, looks a little extra flat and crazy. So let's get some makeup on today. I thought it would be fun to bring you along. I've got a bunch of new goodies that Sigma had sent me. If you saw a picture on Instagram, you saw several of these. I've also picked up a couple of other fun things like Flower Beauty. And then I've got some just good old faithful products that I use time and time again. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And now let's get started. All right, I'm gonna add some eyeshadow primer. I've been enjoying, again, the NARS tinted eyeshadow base. I had this a couple years ago and wanted to give it another try, and I have the shade Light. This, for whatever reason, has been in and out of stock often, so hopefully it's still in stock, but so far, I feel like this has been keeping my oils at bay on my lids, and yet it also provides a nice little bit of coverage as well to kind of disguise those veins on the eyelid. Now going in with an old faithful product, the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Foundation. I'm combining Toffee 19 and Sandstone 16. I just pulled out all of my summer shades in foundation and was happy to see that I still had some of my deeper shade left from last year. And this is just one of my absolute favorite foundations anyway, but it's also a great one when I am filming because I just feel like it just makes the skin look more flawless, and it also stays really well throughout the day. So I'm just using a beauty sponge, a damp beauty sponge. This gives me a little lighter coverage. Now that we have everything evened out, I need something on my lips. They're so dry, and I was waiting until I got the foundation on. So this is something new to me. This is one of the things Sigma sent. It is their Renew Lip Oil. It says enriched with jojoba oil, sunflower seed oil, and vitamin E. And let's see, the shade is All Heart. I would have to say they picked a really good shade for me. I have not yet tried this on. I haven't even smelled it. Let's see. There's no fragrance. I read the ingredients and it didn't have any fragrance, but sometimes, you know, there could still be something lingering, but there's nothing there. Has a really big doe foot applicator. Let's see how much color. There's actually a decent amount of sheer color. Oh, that feels nice. My lips are so dry for some reason. It feels a little bit thicker than a traditional lip oil, which I personally prefer, because sometimes a lip oil, you know, it just feels like it's just melting right off your lips. So hopefully this will hang around and give us some good moisture while we work on the rest of the face. All right, let's go back to the eyes. And one of the palettes that they sent me, which I have had in and out of my cart so many times, is this 9 Shadow Pan, and it's Ritzy. And I went ahead and did some swatches before I started filming, so I will put those swatches up on the screen. Really good mix of warm and cool tones, very neutral. We have a matte, this is almost white. So I'm gonna actually mix these two for my brow bone highlight shade today. So I'll start in the tan shade and then just a touch in there. You could do it separately. You could kind of layer one on, and then if you felt like it was too light or too dark, you could just go over the top of it. But I think those two combined are perfect for me right now with my little bit of Sunless Tanner. I don't want my brow bone highlight to be too light. And I'm just using the Sigma E50. Put that on. All right. Nice. Okay, let's go next with, I'm in the mood kind of to do something with like this coppery gold shade. It's been a while since I've done something like that. So let's go in with just this shade. Oh, and they do have names. This is Nectar. I'm using the Morphe M504. This is my favorite crease blending brush. It just really gets the job done quickly. And apply a little bit more. So far, no issues with blending. I have used several Sigma eyeshadow palettes and have been very impressed. All right, so a really nice soft tan shade. Let's see if we can build up just a little more color. I'm looking at this shade going, might be a little crazy. I don't know, let's go for it. Let's add a little, I'm gonna mix those two. So we'll go in with Nectar and Hazel. Hazel looks like it has just a little bit of some kind of greenish yellow tones to it. Yep, there we go, got the green, so maybe that's a good choice for today. And I'm just using, this is a travel size, but this is the Sigma E25. It's very similar to the Morphe M433, which I also love. I am in that state again where I need to wash some brushes. All right, so that was really nice. I am tapping off my brush, but there's not a ton of kick up in the pan. And I feel like the shadows are pigmented, but they're very buildable. So I think seems to be a good formula, whether you are advanced with makeup or just starting out. Let's go down to a smaller brush. I pulled this dual-ended brush out of my New Mod palette. It has one of my favorite brushes for kind of packing on color and then blending slightly. This is the E54, and I'm gonna start off, I don't wanna go too dark, but let's try this one right here. This is Enrich, and I'm just gonna dip the tip of that brush in that shadow, and then just kind of do light swirling motions just to blend that into those other shades. Oh, that's nice. Keeping it real close to the lash line here. And then I'll go back with the E25, no extra product, and let's just blend those outer corner shades. All right, let's go in with this coppery shade, coppery gold, I'll say. This is called Midas, and on the finger it looks pretty pigmented, and definitely we are getting that kind of orangey tinge. So it is gold, but has more of the kind of orange undertone to it. Don't panic if this isn't your color. I'll show you what I do with shades like this, because I'm not a huge fan of this color all by itself on me personally, but I'll show you what I do love to do with a shade like this. Okay, then wipe off my finger really well. And I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, which is a real pale white gold. And I'm gonna go right over the top of that. And I just love the combination of those two. It really creates kind of, you can make your perfect shade of gold, whether you really like a very light gold with just a hint of warmth, or if you like the warmer shade, you can just go without this shade on top. So just mellows it out, kind of makes it more of a kind of peach tone rather than kind of an orange tone. Okay, I have one more fun thing for the lid, but before we get there, let's go back to our brush here. And I feel like, well, let's just keep it simple. We'll go back with the Enrich shade. Just gonna lightly dust that over where the shimmer shade meets those matte shades on the outer corner. Just kind of blend it there. All right, the fun for our lid, we're gonna go in with that Flower Beauty. This is called Chrome Crush Pressed Pigment. And the shade I have, I believe, is Quartz. So this should remind you of something that you've probably seen me use a lot. Reminds me of the Hourglass Reflect Pigment that I love. This one has a little, the color has a little more maybe champagne gold tones to it. but I feel like this really works almost exactly like those pigments do. And it's at a drugstore price, so that's even better. I love doing this to an eyeshadow, just kind of using it as a topper. So this isn't, it has pigment, obviously, but it definitely shows up better over the top of another shimmery shadow. So you can see it just adds a little extra sparkle. You know me and my sparkle. Love it. Let's add some liner. Now, I've never tried any of Sigma's liners, so they did send me one. It is in the shade Wicked, so just basically black. It says long wearing, built-in sharpener, water resistant. It's a twist up pencil, smudges and sets into classic matte perfection. So when I had first opened this, I didn't read anything on the box. Always read the box. And I thought, oh, it's a typical sharpening, sharpenable pencil. No, it's not. It is actually a twist up, and it does come with a really nice fine point on it that you can keep sharp with the sharpener in the end. So I have not yet tried this, so we're gonna give it a shot. Let's just see here. I just want kind of a thin line here. All right, definitely a stiffer formula. So I kind of find these formulas maybe a little harder to smudge out, but perhaps it would work better. Formulas like this typically work better on the waterline because they dry so fast. Yeah, I would say, I don't know, this isn't smoothly gliding, so it's definitely depositing good pigment, but I am having to work a little bit to get the color laid down. I think I'm gonna keep it to just a wedge shape today. I'm gonna take my Morphe M433 brush and let's just go over the edge of it. Okay, it does have some smudgeability still. I kind of thought it might have been dry upon contact, but it did allow me to kind of soften the edge just a little bit. It did add a really nice matte color, so I do love that. Okay, now for the lower lash line. Now there is a big debate over this. Well, I'm in the camp that believes at least a little bit of shadow or liner on the lower lash line actually makes your eyes look bigger. Because as you can see right now, there's like, this is like blank and there's nothing here. But by adding a shadow, we can make it look like the eyes are actually, there's more space between the lashes. So I am though gonna go a little bit lighter today. So I'm gonna start off with just a little bit of the combination of these two. And I am not using a liner today, which pretty much means its shadow is not gonna stay in place real long. I could go under here with a little eyeshadow primer, but it's okay. I don't have a real long day that I need my makeup to really last for 10 hours today. So it's okay. And I'm using the Morphe M433, and then I am gonna use just a touch of this shadow right here that we used in the outer corner. And I'm just going to use this here to connect the upper lash line, because personally, I feel like if I leave this blank, it looks really unbalanced. Like there is a lot going on up top and nothing below. But see, by doing this, I can actually make it look like my eye opens a little bit bigger. That's my rationale. Okay, I'm gonna clean up under the eyes with a little almond oil, and then we'll come back and add some concealer. All right, I'm just using the NARS color corrector, and this is in the shade Light. I haven't used this in a while because I've been testing a few others. So thought I would pull this back out. I'm gonna blend that in with my fingers. And now for concealer, I'm gonna go back to another oldie but a goodie, one of my favorites, the Clinique Even Better Concealer. And again, pulling out my summer shades. This is WN38. I think this is the right shade. We're gonna find out here. Pretty close. So I get asked a lot, what shade of concealer should you choose? And it's a matter of preference, but I personally prefer to choose a shade that's really close to my skin tone, but just a hair lighter. So you don't want to go darker, but personally, I don't like the look, and I feel like a lighter concealer also doesn't do as good of a job concealing dark circles. And then what I have found is to help further with color correction under the under eye, I usually prefer more of a neutral undertone. I'm feeling better already. Okay, I'm gonna let that set for a moment and go to, let's see, we're gonna powder the face, and then I will use a separate powder under the eyes. You know I love to do that. Okay, so powder today, I pulled out the Too Faced Born This Way powder. It's been a while since I used this. And I'm gonna use my BK Beauty 105 brush. This is a clean brush. Oh, I love it when I have a clean brush like this. All right, under the eyes, I went ahead and smiled so I could crease my concealer, and now I'm gonna go back with this roller ball. It's not a roller ball, but it's called a roller ball from Eco Tools, and I'm just gonna press this over those creases just to kind of pick up and smooth out the concealer there. And then we're gonna set it. And I have been testing and really enjoying the Makeup Forever Ultra HD powder under the eyes. And I'm just using, this is a brush they no longer make, but it's the Sedona Lace 313. I'm just going to put a light amount. This powder is so lightweight, and it is a silica base, and so it's so smoothing. A little bit goes a long way. All right, for contour today, I pulled out one that I've actually used before but never on camera. So this is the Kiko Milano, and this is Blossoming Beauty Floral Bronzer in Bright Sienna. And I feel like this is going to be a good contour shade, but we'll see. I've used it, I think, as a bronzer before, but I'm going to use the Sigma F05 and put a little bit of this through the hollows of the cheeks. I have really been enjoying Kiko Milano products. I know I've mentioned them before. The only thing is I think it's just their packaging. They do a lot of special edition packaging, but I'm finding that the product names and colors seem to be the same as a lot of their kind of regular line of products. So that's giving me hope that you can still get this bronzer if you fall in love with it like I have. But I just really been impressed with their products. Now even though they're not considered high-end, they're still kind of pricey as far as, you know, when compared to drugstore, although I feel like drugstore prices, holy smokes, those are getting pretty high as well. So those days of finding things under $10 at the drugstore are becoming harder and harder to do. All right, so I feel like that gave me some pretty good definition. These are not powdery at all. Like, you can dig your brush in and you don't get the powder kick up, which I love. And there's no shimmer. This is a matte product, so that's why I'm using it more in the contour areas. And have another bronzer that I haven't used since, well, last summer, fall when I bought it. So we're gonna use that as my bronzer today. You know, gotta take a break from my favorite Gucci bronzer. All right, this is the bronzer we're gonna use today. This is by Nabla, and this is Skin Bronzing in the shade Dune. It says Sun Kissed Effect Bronzing Powder. And I'm using the BK Beauty 103 brush. And again, this is a real, it's not powdery at all. And I remember these sold out pretty quickly. Ulta had these on a beauty steal one day, and I picked this up. Oh, it's pretty. So happy to be entering the summer months where I do a little darker sunless tanning, so I can use some of these more deeper bronzing powders and products. So very buildable, and I do feel like there's a hint of glow, but not too much. It really reminds me a lot of the Physicians Formula butter bronzers, which you know I love. So, but that's pretty, very buildable. All right, we'll stop for the moment because we have some blush to use. All right, another product that Sigma sent over. If you saw my vlog video, you saw me testing this out for the first time, but this is the Cor de Rosa. I can't roll my R's. So this is the blush palette, and just really, really pretty blushes. These two have a little bit of shimmer, and then the other four are matte. Let's go in, for today, let's start with this peachy shade. I love kind of peach and green. Oh, yeah, okay. Lots of pigment there. That's really pretty. That's what my face needs. A little wakening up here with some blush. Right, and then I want to add just a touch of, let's go in with a touch of this one that has a little bit of glow. This is Señorita. I can say that. All right. That's pretty. That added a nice little bit of glow. But we don't want to go overboard because I also have a highlighter from Sigma, and it is this Glow Kissed palette. I'm going to try not to blind you. Everything is very reflective, even the sheet that they put over to protect the powders. Look how beautiful those are. Again, I showed this in that video. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it down below. Okay, now the other thing that Sigma sent, and I'm going to use one of these brushes today, is this set of brushes. It is the Iconic brush set with rose gold handles. So when Sigma does these special editions, usually it's just a difference in the color of the handle and the ferrule, but they make these brushes in their regular line with the black handle and silver ferrule here. So I think I have all of these brushes in the regular black handle, but there's just something about the rose gold, right? But the other thing is, oh my goodness. Now I'm used to, bags that brushes come in being very cheap and like, it's okay. This is so luxurious. This is going in my purse, and it's a really good size. The brushes actually fit in here, so that tells you how long it is. Really sturdy, fully lined. I'm like, yep, this is going right into my purse. So I did just do a quick spray brush cleaner on these so I could use these today, but I think I'm just gonna use this one, which is technically the high cheekbone highlighter brush. So let's just put that to the test here with some of this highlighter. All right, I think I wanna try a little bit of this Sunstone shade here. Let me show you. That has a little bit of some coppery gold, but not quite as much gold as this. So let's go there. And so the good thing about a brush like this is you can be very precise. So if you are trying to avoid lines or pores or anything, a brush like this is going to let you do that. Now it is pretty dense, so you are going to get a lot of product applied all at once. Okay, so that's kind of, it's glowy, but not real brightening on my skin tones. So let's go in with, I think, let's see, that one, or this one. Oh, let's do that one. Okay. We're gonna go in with a little bit of this and just put that right on the highest points with our high cheekbone brush. These highlighters are pigmented. All right, and I'm going to use that color across the bridge of the nose, Cupid's bow. And then what you can do is take a damp beauty sponge and just go over it, and it usually just helps that highlighter kind of blend seamlessly into the other powder products we have on our face. Okay, really like that. Let's go back to the eyeshadow palette since we have a brightening shade in there. We'll go back to this. We're gonna add our inner corner highlight. And I'm just going to first start off with my finger, and you can see what that shade looks like all on its own. So pretty and brightening. Love that. Okay. For brows, many of you have been asking, what are you doing to your brows? They look so natural. I'm actually just using products I've been using, but in combination, I feel like they work well. So the first is the NYX Precision Brow Pencil in taupe. I've used taupe for years, on and off for years. And on its own, it is pretty cool tone. It does have a little bit of warmth. So when I first tried the Merit Brow Gel in Blonde, this was like the perfect addition. It adds that coolness to the brows. And then if I need to, in just a few areas like right here or any extra bald spots, I've been going back in with the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen, and the shade I'm using is taupe. I don't do this every day. If I'm in a hurry, I skip this step, but it is something that can add that feathery look to your brows if that's something you're interested in. Okay, I'm gonna speed through this. Don't worry, I am planning on doing a video, maybe a series of kind of short videos of kind of my full brow process, my full mascara process. All right, so that's just with the pencil and brow gel. I feel like it's pretty good. Where I might, if I wanted to take the extra time with the brow pen, I may just go in here and add a few extra just hair strokes here. And then sometimes through the arch of the brow, or I have kind of like a bald spot here, I may just kind of touch the pen to those areas. Time to curl the lashes. Going to use my new favorite mascara primer. This is the Dior Show Maximizer 3D. This is lash serum and primer. And my IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara on the upper lashes and my Caloray Mascara on the lower lashes. All right, I'm going to wipe off that lip oil, but it is still very much there. And I feel like there's a good amount of hydration on the lips. So this is a lip oil that will be long wearing. Going to go around the edge of my lips with the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. All right, for my lipstick combination, I'm going to use the Natasha Denona I Need a Rose Lip Liner or Lip Crayon in the shade Kala. And then for my lipstick, I have a new one from Sigma. I've wanted to try these forever and just have not. It's the Infinity Point lipstick. Okay, this is one of the most unique, actually it is the most unique lipstick shapes I've seen. So the whole bullet is in the shape of a teardrop. Very nice weight to it, really nice packaging. So the lipstick has a teardrop shape. And I like that they give you a little extra, but what the shape of the bullet does is as the lipstick gets used, it's supposed to keep its point at the top, thus making it easier to apply. This also has no fragrance added on ingredients or anything. And the shade I have is Deja Vu. And this is my kind of color. You know it. Kind of a muted nude rose shade. So because I want it to be a little warmer in tone, I'm going to use this lip liner. All right, let's apply this lipstick. It's very pigmented. It is a matte formula or a satin formula basically. So it doesn't dry out your lips, but there's no shimmer or anything to it. Feels really nice and looks very neutral. All right, I finished my hair tutorial. So my hair is done, my earrings are in. Now here is our finished makeup look. And overall, I love how all of these products came together to create this kind of gold, bronzy, summery, glowy look. I love these kind of looks, especially in the spring and summer. I feel like the cheeks look healthy and glowy and have just a hint of color to make me look like I am fresh and wide awake, right? And ready for the rest of the day. But I hope that you enjoyed this. As always, all of the products and brushes and everything I used will be listed in the description box below this video. Click the little arrow over here on your phone or where it says show more, and you'll see all of that information. I will also leave a link to the hair tutorial that I did on this look if you're interested in how I did it. Thank you as always so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.